Here we go.
Saying,
All right, what's going on? Good evening. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good.
All right, that's cool.
Besides the fact that I haven't like really had no Mary Jane in my system yet,
Oh, all
I'm
right,
doing alright, I guess.
all right, cool. Right on, right on. Uh, for the audience, can you go ahead and state your name? What's your name?
Well, my name's Anthony, but a lot of niggas call me Castro.
All right,
Other niggas got other nicknames, but it's mostly Castro.
all right, all right. So, would you say, as far as like your stage name is concerned, like what they're gonna call you, would you say it's just
Oh, nah, like,
Casper?
nah, well, on SoundCloud, I'm like Castro Know the Deal, so
All right,
that's
cool.
like my full little,
All right, that's a little
name.
handle. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Right on. So, how long have you been into rap music?
Uh, I'm not gonna lie and like try to like sugarcoat shit. Like, I've been rapping like barely recently, but
All
it's
right,
just off the dome though. Like it's different. Other niggas have to listen to shit and other shit, and like I just get high and it's off the dome.
all
So
right,
it's just all dro.
okay,
That's really what it's about
all
at
right.
the end of the day.
So, um, as far as like wanting to actually kind of be involved in the whole rap scene or whatnot, make a name for yourself. Um, so, what exactly is it that you're hoping to accomplish by,
I
through your
just like,
rapping?
yeah. There's a lot of Mexican rappers on the platform right now
All
that are
right,
coming up still and shit, but I think personally, like, I think personally, I'm the great.
all
And
right.
like not lit, and the reason I can explain why, like other people that just like to be caught out of some cocky bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, oh, I'm great, and just leave it at that. Nah, I explain you why. Like I started from the bottom. Like you niggas can never be me. Like I don't know how to what other way to like describe it, but that like
So
you know what I mean. Like
you're basically saying you're confident in your ability
like I said, like
as.
I'm something like a Leo. I refuse to take defeat, nigga. I
All
went
right,
from rags to red carpets at my feet, nigga. You know what I mean?
all right, all right,
That's how I really feel about it.
all right.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
cool.
Not too many people can say the same. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think
but to
confidence
each
is
their own,
definitely a
right?
key. Yeah, no,
That was
seriously,
good. Yeah.
definitely
You're
to
right.
each their own. But I mean, if you're gonna do something as bold as trying to get involved in the entertainment industry, because that's ultimately, rap is a form of music.
Exactly.
So, and music in and of itself is used for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
Whether
No,
it's
yeah.
some people use music as a way to kind of cope with loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other
Exactly.
people, they'll listen to music if they're feeling like they're in love or whatever, and they'll use songs
Exactly.
like
There's
that to kind of,
different ways that
yeah.
people use their way to express themselves with their music.
Some people
You know?
use it to kind of help with their anger. If you listen
Yeah.
to really loud, hard music, that
Like
kind of
some rock
helps.
shit or something
Yeah,
like
so
that.
it's like again, kind of that's a way for them to
Yeah.
blow off some steam or whatever. But I think like with rap, you know,
There's all
um,
different types of rap.
yeah,
That's the thing,
there's
though.
yeah, and I
There's all
think that's the
different
thing.
categories nowadays. It's different than back in just like the '90s. Maybe in the '90s, like I don't know how it went down personally, but from what I hear,
Hmm?
the rap like La Raza and all that, and like so
Oh,
that's how I picture like Mexican rapping.
all right.
Nowadays, it's crazy. Like I could show you a sample of like what it sounds like nowadays, but it's just like it sounds some other shit, low key.
So it's a lot
Like
different.
Mexicans are saying the N word a lot,
All
which
right.
I personally do that.
All right.
Like
All
I
right.
personally want to do that.
That's
But
it.
I feel like I have the right to. A lot of people don't like. They don't explain why they say the word nigga and like why they do it. And like a lot of Mexicans, like they take the like they're gonna look at me as like if I'm a bad guy because I say nigga. But like I grew up in the hood, so I grew up with black people and Mexicans.
All right.
And like I said, like nigga means a nigga like a guy like.
Yeah.
A dude, like, and shit. Like, I ain't talking about no bitch if I say, hey, look at that nigga. You
Yeah.
feel me? I'm saying that nigga, that dude, that guy,
Right. Yeah. If you're
So,
referring to someone as a dude, man.
male, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Male figure. So I was like, I be saying nigga, that's something, I really refer to it like that. Other
Okay.
than that, I don't really like using the word.
Right. Right.
Other than that,
Okay.
yeah, and like in rap songs, yeah, like, if I gotta use it every here and there, yeah, I'll throw it in there.
And now, so okay, kind
On that
of
subject.
hanging on to that subject,
Uh-huh.
and as far as like comparing that to
Yeah.
the Hispanic rap in the '90s, right?
Yeah,
Would you
yeah.
say that
That's a
rap?
no-go to the '90s people. I think.
Yeah.
Just period, point blank.
All
Like
right.
just no further needed to say. anything doesn't need to be said. Like I know the niggas in the '90s don't fuck with that shit.
Right.
Definitely, most definitely.
And do you think it's because it was a little bit more like stricter or whatnot, and
Yeah,
now things
I
have
can
a lot
say
more
I feel like
loose and liberal?
it was a little bit more on some politic and shit.
Right,
To
right.
keep it real, yeah, I feel like back in the '90s it was more politics and shit. And,
Yeah.
and from what I've heard from like people that I know, like old school cats and people who just put me up on game and shit, like yeah, the '90s was pretty crazy. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it was divided and shit, you know,
Right.
segregated.
And then it's kind of funny, yeah, because you could even take it, and as far as like the gang culture goes, like the Hispanics. I mean, it even goes back further than that, than the '90s. You have,
Before that, yeah,
yeah,
way
from
before
like the '50s,
Yeah.
probably even
Like
before
the
that,
Zoot Suit riots
actually.
and shit.
Yeah, exactly,
Since back
exactly.
then.
So like that, like thing, like
That's
Zoot
right, yeah.
Suiters, probably you could consider those the original, or
Like gangsters.
yeah,
Shit,
actual
yeah.
gangsters that ultimately evolved into what.
It
I
is
guess
nowadays, I
yeah,
guess.
what we ultimately see now at this
Now,
point, the
yeah,
incarnation. So,
exactly.
but of course, it is a lot. It's a lot different. I'd say right now, maybe right now it's just not something that's trending, but or perhaps it's in a way I kind of what I see like as far as like rap stars and all that stuff are concerned.
Yeah.
Before they used to be more like on the outside. They weren't accepted. They weren't celebrated that much. I mean, it was more of like an
Exactly, yeah.
underground thing because people were getting offended
No.
by them.
Yeah.
So, but today it's more like, as far as hip hop and rap are concerned, like, I mean, that's the primary type of music that you hear, not just on the
Nowadays.
radio.
Yeah.
It's stuff that's used on television for commercials
Yeah,
and all that
exactly.
stuff. And
No, it's just
different
used
rappers and
across
hip hop artists will
ads,
even be used for
through
like,
ads and shit.
advertising certain products and all that stuff.
it's
or
crazy.
restaurants and all that. And it's just
No,
like,
but yeah, that's why like I kind of knew what you were gonna say when you're asking me that question. I was like, but like yeah, like as far as Mexican rap, like I feel like I'm like I consider myself a Mexican, but like I said, not too many Mexicans that speak Spanish are gonna be too much of fans of when I say the N word, you know.
Right,
so
right.
it's there's certain people that are gonna gravitate towards my music and certain people that won't.
okay.
And I mean, I don't care, you know. Like I've have some homies that are real true Mexicans that they say nigga themselves too. So like, I don't know, but some people take it a certain way. I feel like Mexicans take it a little bit more personal than Black people. 'Cause, like,
Which is
like
weird
I was
because
telling
it's
you
like,
the other day-
it's not.
like I was telling you the other day, like off camera, like fucking Black people, like I've said nigga around them, and it's like you would expect them to trip on you, but it's like the Mexicans that do, because like I told people don't believe me, and it's like here's why. This is the explanation why people like don't even like let me say my explanation. So I'm like, this is why I think that, because like every time I've said nigga around like an OG Mexican, like I'm talking about like hood niggas, like they kind of give you that look, like that '90s cholo type niggas. That's what I'm talking about. Like they kind of give you like that, like
They'll give you the eye, kind of
Yeah,
like the
like
stink
the what
eye.
the fuck,
Yeah,
like, who says-
yeah.
you accidentally stepped up and said the N word like that. Like
Like,
that's the kind of look they give you.
Dang.
So I mean, me personally, I felt a little bit more hesitant to say around Mexicans, my own race, but nigga in general, like I said, there's no harm. Me personally, I know that I'm not harming anybody with the way I use the word, so I'm good. Like I'm not tripping about nobody tripping on me because I use the N word.
Right.
That's on them. Like if they got raised like that, that's on them. I'm sorry that they have their mind.
Well, I guess what's kind of like ironic about it is why would a Mexican get offended by that word when it's supposed to be an insult that's intended for an African American? It's just kind of like, well, what are they just like trying to sympathize or whatever? But it's like,
I know, that's
You
what
know.
I'm saying. Like, I don't know if they're feeling for them, for the Black people, like, oh, like, don't say it, like, that's disrespectful to them, or they just.
or do they think like, oh, you're using it because that's the thing. The way you're explaining it, you're not saying that to insult somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
No, that's right.
if you're
I'm
trying
not-
to if you
I
tell
don't-
somebody
that's
that
why I don't
you know,
throw the word around. Like, I won't be like,
Right.
hey, what the fuck, my nigga, or something
Yeah.
like that, you know? I don't use it like my nigga.
hmm
I don't use it in that type of way, but I mean, yeah, like, I'll use nigga, like, it's just a certain way to, like, express shit, and like I said, it's a different way to say guy.
Mhm.
I'm not always wanting to say guy and dude in my shit. I'm a hood nigga, so I'm gonna throw nigga in there every once in a while. And I mean, however people take it, like, that's, if they fuck with it, they fuck with it, and if they don't, they don't.
right.
That's how I feel about it, though. Personally, I don't give a fuck about your likes or not, you know?
Right.
I know people are fucking with me, and I know who isn't, you know?
hmm
So, But like as far as Mexican rap, yeah, I definitely think I wanna get up there, but I don't want to be in the Chicano like rap little. Like even nowadays, like I was showing you that one guy off the camera, like Smokey GM and Pancho GM.
Yeah.
They're from San Diego and they're both Mexican. Well, no, not Smokey, but Pancho, he's Mexican,
Hmm.
and like I don't know, like they have like a cool ass flow. Like I fuck with it. I don't know, they're on some Dago shit, but they're like representing for the Mexicans for sure.
Right. Yeah.
They're
Totally.
making us look like we're cracking, we're popping. And
Yeah.
like,
No.
so, but like they're also using the word nigga once again, and that's the type of shit I'm on.
Mhm.
People are not getting that. Like people are on trap shit nowadays. That's why I told you previously that there's so much different rap. I'm on more like that West Coast hit shit. Like I said, that's all I'm about. Like if you see fucking me, I'm dressed hood. Like you can tell I'm from the environment. You can tell where I was raised.
From a young age, wearing
now.
Pendletons.
Just yeah,
And,
exactly.
you know.
Like I got pictures of me 1 year old, white tank top on.
What the
like,
heck?
you know. So like yeah, definitely I was raised in a very Mexican hood.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think. I mean, it wasn't. We'll say Mexican American. You know what I mean? Because like we didn't we didn't grow up in a place where everybody spoke Spanish and all that. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't really affiliate with too many like I was telling you, the Mexicans that speak Spanish.
Right.
For the main reason that I don't speak. A lot of people think that too. That's another thing. Like people might think that I rap. I don't. Just saying, just because I'm brown doesn't mean I rap. You know what I mean?
Right.
I always tell the people like in the hood there's no use for once again like I'll say there's when you're in the hood and you're around gang members you don't really use too much Spanish. I mean unless you're trying to be low key about something we'll holler in Spanish, but other than that, nah.
If anything, it's like Spanglish. Is like
it wouldn't even be like Spanish. Yeah, it would be slang.
Yeah.
It would be like, oh, pass me the yes guy or some shit.
Right.
Something, like that. It wouldn't be never, pass me the marijuana. Cholos don't even talk like that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, I want some different shit. I consider myself a Mexican, but people are like, how do you consider yourself a Mexican when you're always throwing the N-word around? Once again, it's for the simple reason why I say nigga as in guy, dude. So like it's not even about that. It's not about me just wanting to throw the word around and be like, oh yeah, nigga, like nigga this, nigga that. Nah. I'm just like I said, I was grown in an environment where there's PJ Cribs, there's West Side, there's all these surrounding hoods, Mexican hoods, black hoods.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. I have surrounding hoods, Fontana, they have some Crips, Bloods over there.
I hear you.
I mean, so I grew up in a very
it's
an empire for you.
Yeah, a lot of racial tension, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Between the two races.
It don't even have to be necessary. Like I was talking to another homie the other day from the hood. Like, why are some of the the fucking they're not peace treaties no more? They're beefing it now. Like, cause bad transactions and shit. Like that shit that happened back in the '90s, and they're holding a grudge till now.
Dang.
So hoods are like that over here. And,
yeah.
I mean, that's why it's racial tensions in Rubidoux right now.
Right.
So it's that's where I grew up. But people, so that's why I don't get why they take it in a weird way. Like if I grew up in a racially divided area and I'm saying nigga and like low key using your guys' slang as a person, this is how I always think about it too. Why would I use the word nigga if I don't fuck with if I would as a joke or trying to insult you guys?
Yeah, right.
I would sound like
that would just be dumb.
Yeah, and that just doesn't even make sense in general. Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, there are people that will say that, if they're upset, and they're like, oh, that for whatever reason, that's one of the first insults that can come up, from a person. Yeah, like a person gets to pushed to a certain point, they'll blurt that out because we're so used to hearing that particular word as an insult and not just as a casual, hey, what's up, man? What's up?
They're from. Obviously, my grandparents, they're from the 60s, around that era, I should say. And when I say nigga, I see them give me a double take or just they're
Yeah, because that's all. Because
they weren't throwing nigga around like that.
Up until
like I said, it's not really it's even getting thrown around. It's it's just a way. It's a common word now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten common, and a lot of people don't want to just accept that. Really.
Yeah.
People don't want to accept that it's got common. And that so many Mexicans are saying it, and not only blacks are saying it, and not only whites aren't just being scared to say it, they're saying it too. It's not only Mexican and black thing. But what I do feel I feel only, I mean, I've had some black people that are like, oh, like I wouldn't let a white boy side with saying it, but I'll let a Mexican because Mexicans grew up in my same environment.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it. That's how I am. And I've had black people tell me the same thing. Like, that same response to me though.
Right.
And like, it's like, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, I mean,
Right.
that's not, like, it's no insult. People try to take it as that though.
Yeah.
They're quick to jump to conclusions.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's how everybody is though. So.
There's history to it, but I mean, a person who has ever had to grow up in, you know, a bad neighborhood, you know, from a, you know, within a family setting where, you know, the parents are not together, you know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
struggling and all that stuff, like kind of like how you were explaining earlier
Yeah.
about the difference between living and surviving. You know,
That's what it is, yeah. A lot
pe-
of people get that mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta like clarify that. A lot of people they're like, oh, Doug, like you're, like, why do you react or why do you have that certain like mentality that just like it's like you're on some G like survival shit? And I'm like, I only see like the real reason, the best way I can describe it is like when I was growing up, we were just a lot of like shit was cracking off, like how he said it right now, like a lot of shit was going down, like. We didn't always have enough money for the rent, so there was always that eviction notice on our door. You know, when I got back from school, there was not always certain things that like we had available. I guess you could say. Really, like we were the definition of poor. Like
Mhm.
that's the best way I can describe it. We're the definition of poor. And like a lot of rappers like to say that though. Like, oh, I started off poor. Like, nah. Like you guys are talking about poor. You need to hop in my shoes, dog. Like real shit. Cause I was poor. I was really down and out. Not saying that they weren't, but like so most of them, I feel like they just be sugarcoat a lot of shit, like add it to make it seem like they're
yeah.
fucking beasts now that they fucking overcame that shit. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, because people who really are going through that, what they're saying that they've gone through, you know, they'll latch onto that because that's what people want. It's like they see someone that they can
wanna see
relate
someone,
to.
like, being real,
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about
That's
some
what they
real
want.
shit.
Not
So,
someone who
that's
thinks,
why a lot
yeah.
of people try to do that.
Yeah.
But like I'm really living what I'm rapping. I'm really doing. If I haven't lived it, I'm living it right now.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm rapping, I'm just trying to do it. Like, if I do end up getting fucking cracking in this shit, I'm doing it for my family financially.
And
It ain't
you're-
for me.
yeah.
I ain't no selfish ass nigga. I've never been that type of way. I've always been a crew type of nigga. So I look out for my niggas. I look out for anybody who's with me. We're all everybody's eating the plate. You feel me? That's how I feel about it. Everybody's getting a meal.
So basically, you know, the intent of you becoming a rapper or whatnot, let's just say, isn't for any kind of selfish gain, but it's more like you have a story
It's not
that you
even
want
like
to
I
tell,
wanna, like, yeah,
and
exactly.
and
That's also why.
you know, and ultimately whatever type of success comes from it, it's not a personal success, but it's almost kind of like, hey, you know,
It's almost like it's almost like my success is gonna be my gift to my family
right,
in a way. I guess you could say.
Well,
So that's what I'm planning to do. I mean, other people they can't say the same thing. Like I said, other people have different type of
motives.
motives.
Yeah.
Exactly, that's the word right there. Different type of motives. And it's like these are my motives. Everything I'm telling you is just coming from the heart. Like this is real shit that I'm talking about. I don't just come up with shit and then like hop on an interview and be like, oh yeah, and then this and I'm not reading no script. Ain't no script in my head and shit. So
Right.
it's real shit. But yeah, like a lot of people like. So that's why I said that verse earlier. Like I'm something like a Leo. I refuse to take defeat. Like I went from rags to red carpets at my feet. I did. Like I really did. People ask me like, where'd you start off from? I started off at the bottom, straight up. Like I grew up in a very like how do you say it? Very crowded.
Yeah.
Not crowded, but very big family.
Yeah.
You know. It wasn't even like we needed our second relatives or third relatives. It was just our little branch. My grandma down was enough.
Yeah,
That was our family.
your immediate family
Was
is
just
large
like
enough
big.
where it's just like
Yeah.
we
It
didn't
was
need
never
to
like
go.
we needed
Yeah.
a card, or like we needed our other second family. Yeah.
It
So
was just It was like basically, I mean, especially back on Avon Street, it was
Yeah.
all of us. We were all just kind of there
Exactly.
together, like, you know, just trying to make it work. Each of us, you know, so for us older kids watching the younger kids, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
until ultimately you guys can come older, and then there's
Yeah.
you know some other kids that come into the picture and all that
like,
stuff,
I
and just kind
remember
of
since like I remember being so young, and I remember running the streets. Like that's why I always tell people like I don't want to sound like that. Like I said, I don't want to put my mom down or none of that. Like I know she raised me to the best. She didn't raise me to be how I came out like right now. But she was like, she always like, the way I could describe her, she was like always wanting me to be like honor roll, almost like an honor roll student.
Right.
That's what she was always hoping for me. But like I told people, school was never for me, and a lot of people don't believe that. But like I literally like I'm not like, people think I'm like, they laugh when I say that. I'm like, oh, school wasn't for me, but like I personally think it wasn't for me. Like I feel like there should have been a different school, like for some other type of people with like different motives and different type of goals, I guess you could say, and type of shit like that. So I feel like that's the type of shit I should have been in, because school wasn't for me.
Right.
Like I just was always getting into some shit. You know what I mean?
And then the thing is, although,
and it didn't have to be like
yeah.
my fault. It was like they would do weird shit. They would put weird shit. The teachers and shit. Like I feel like just the system. Like I was fucked over.
Yeah.
Just from a young age. Like,
Oh yeah.
I know it sounds funny. Like a lot of people won't believe it, but like Mission Bell, first grade, I was already getting taken out of class by Mr. Huban and shit. Like, what the fuck? Like they had it out for me, dog. Like whether people believe it or not.
Yeah.
They had it out for me. They had to have, cause what the fuck? There's 300 more kids in the school. What the fuck are you coming at me for?
Always
You know
being
what I mean?
singled out, even at a young age.
At a
basically.
young age, that's the problem I always had through my whole life. Singled out
Right.
through like authority figures. Like, what the fuck? I guess it's because I'm the best. Like, I guess it's because I shine up amongst the others, or I don't know. Like, they just want to really like.
It's almost like they want to.
see
They
me
want to.
win.
Yeah, they
It's
want
almost
to.
like Kodak
Yeah, they
said.
want to
It's
suppress.
almost like Kodak said.
Yeah.
They don't want to see me winning, you know.
Mm.
But I am though.
Right.
So it's like they're kind of pissed, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're not feeling it, but it's like I'm that nigga, and like you can't do shit. Then what are you gonna
It
do?
kind of goes back to that whole thing where it's like, you know what?
Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If I'm that nigga and I'm like calling shots and doing all this shit, and like you can't